Our next near-death experience comes to us from John Boguslavsky. John writes, "Beyond death. Back in 2020, I had my own near-death experience. I had made plans to go camping out in the desert with a buddy and our girlfriends at the time. His girlfriend was studying to become an astronomer, and this was to be a chance for her to observe the stars away from the light pollution of the city. So after loading up his truck with enough supplies to get us through the weekend, we headed out into the desert. My girlfriend was a stickler for safety after watching one too many of those YouTube videos where a group of people go out into the middle of nowhere and either die or come up missing, leaving everyone wondering whatever became of them. Because of this, she insisted we purchase and pack not only a flare gun, but also a very expensive satellite phone. Along with this, we had brought along as much water as we could, and some of those military-style meals we had picked up at an army surplus. The first night in the desert went amazingly well. We told ghost stories around a campfire and attempted to scare the ladies before retiring to our tents for the night. During the night we did hear noises outside the tent, but decided it was probably just my buddy trying to scare us, so we rolled over and went right back to sleep. By morning, we had almost forgotten about the noise until my buddy said to us that our nighttime scare tactics hadn't worked. It seems they also heard the noises and thought it was us, so they too had ignored it. Later, my buddy would point out some coyote tracks very close to our camping area. That night was much like the first. We told stories again and then took turns looking through the telescope as my buddy's girlfriend tried to explain the cosmos to us. I wasn't really into that, so I went to the tent. My girlfriend soon followed, and we again went to sleep. Sometime later, I would awaken with a need to go to the restroom. I did not have to urinate, so I obviously wasn't going to go anywhere too close to the tent and risk an awkward moment of someone else waking with the same idea. As I was walking back to the tent, I suddenly heard a pop, and at the same time felt something hit me, and it burned. It seems my girlfriend had awakened and found herself alone, stepping outside to look for me, but still afraid of the chance a coyote could be near. She brought the flare gun. I guess in all her fear, the sound of me coming back made her fire it directly at me, and with one unlucky shot, I was down. What happened next was crazy. I was trying to rip my jacket, the desert gets cold at night, from my chest with hopes of stopping the burn, when I just collapsed. I couldn't breathe and my chest hurt worse than the burning had. Next thing I remember is the tunnel, and it is exactly as most NDE stories describe it. I was traveling fast towards a light that grew larger the closer I got. When I arrived, though, I did not see some all-knowing light that was made of love. I found myself standing on a hill surrounded by sheep, and a man tending to them. I looked to the man, and he walked towards me saying, "Welcome, John." It was then that I saw this man was Jesus. Jesus told me that he was happy to see me, and I could feel the love just flow from every fiber of his body. To stand in his presence was perhaps the most amazing thing I have ever felt. I asked Jesus, "Is this heaven?" To which he replied, "No, this is where we bring souls who have a decision to make." "A decision?" I asked. "Yes, you have done well during your time on the earth. However, there is more you can still do if you choose to return and finish out your life." "So I can go back?" I asked. "Of course you can. There is always free will, and for you to go back would make my Father very happy." "What happens if I stay here? What happens to everyone I leave behind?" I questioned. "They will continue to fulfill their own missions on earth," Jesus replied. I thought about my girlfriend, my friends, my family. They would have it hard accepting my death at such a young age, and my poor mother. This could break her. Right then I made up my mind that I would be returning to live this life. However, I had one last thing to ask of Jesus before I returned. "Can I see heaven?" With that one question, I found myself standing high above a place of immense beauty as far as the eyes could see. There were many people going about various tasks below me. There was the sweetest music I could ever imagine as well. And as I watched from high above, I knew that this place called heaven was home. I don't know how long we stood there, but it seemed like hours before I felt myself being returned to my body on Earth. I awoke in the hospital and found out that after the flare hit me, I suffered a heart attack. My girlfriend used the sat phone to dial 911 and a medical helicopter was dispatched to our location to help me. The doctors said the speed of which I arrived at the hospital probably saved my life. There was an investigation done by local police to ensure this was indeed an accident, and my girlfriend, although shook up, was cleared of any wrongdoing. I did not experience a life review during my NDE, and I'm both a little relieved and a little upset by that fact. What has changed in my life since my NDE? A few things. First, I no longer fear death because I know what awaits me on the other side. And one more thing, I no longer go camping. Thank you, John, for submitting your experience to this channel and allowing us to share it with our subscribers. If you have your own near-death experience to share, please submit it to the email provided in the description. Thank you for watching.